I think it's just putting my life into perspective. I mean, at first I used to think negative things like, why is there so much pressure? If you defend something, that means you won something. If you did it, that means you can do it again. So whether I do it,
She went over the clock like 4 times. You gave her time violation once. How is this fair? No, you're calling the score after the point.
Coco Gauff unleashes $50 million legal bombshell on Fox Sports Network in full panic mode. What happens when a 20-year-old tennis phenomenon decides she is absolutely done with the disrespect? She doesn't take to Twitter to vent. She doesn't post a cryptic quote on her Instagram story. And she definitely doesn't cry in the locker room. Not this time. She lawyers up. She files a massive, earth-shattering $50 million lawsuit that threatens to tear the roof off one of America's biggest sports networks. Most athletes are trained to ignore the noise, to smile and wave while the media tears them apart. But Coco Gauff, she just looked at Fox Sports, looked at the host who tried to ruin her reputation, and effectively said, "You crossed the line, now you're going to pay for it." And folks, when we say pay, we aren't talking about an apology. We are talking about $50 million in cold, hard accountability. Welcome back to Champions Tennisistics, the only place where we serve the truth, ace after ace. If you love tennis and you love seeing athletes stand up for themselves, do me a huge favor, smash that subscribe button, like this video, and ring the bell. We are tracking this legal war minute by minute, and you do not want to miss what happens next. Also, we have a brand new sister channel launching soon, link in the description, so make sure you're subbed there too for exclusive backstage content. Now buckle up, because the update we have today is shocking. Fox is scrambling, the host has gone silent, and Coco Gauff is playing the biggest match of her life in a courtroom. Let's be real for a second. We often forget that athletes are human beings. We see the Nike commercials, the New Balance billboards, the lifting of trophies at the US Open or Roland Garros. We see the superstar. But behind that superstar is a young woman who hears everything. Coco herself said it best recently. "I think being an athlete, people kind of disregard that side of us, the human side of things. People say so many things. You're number 3 in the world. You should be better. But at the end of the day, I feel like if I stopped and didn't pick up a racket tomorrow, I've had a career that so many people would dream of." She's right. By age 20, she had already done what players work 15 years to achieve. But this story isn't about her backhand or her serve percentage. It's not about a bad line call or an umpire dispute. This is about a specific Fox Sports host who thought he could destroy a young black woman's career on live television and just walk away. He thought he could say whatever he wanted to drive ratings. He thought Coco would do what she always does, take the high road. He was wrong. Dead wrong. Instead of a clap back on social media, Coco's team quietly collected every clip, every word, every dismissive gesture, and turned it into a legal weapon. Fox Sports is now scrambling more than a player trying to chase down a Coco Gauff drop shot. So how did we get here? Why now? And what exactly did this host say that is worth $50 million in damages? Let's go back to the moment that started it all. It was supposed to be a standard segment. Fox Sports was covering the Miami Open, a huge tournament, basically a fifth slam for many. The panel was sitting there, doing the usual pre-match analysis. Usually, this is where they talk about stats. How's her first serve percentage? Is she moving well on the hard court? You know, actual sports journalism. But one host, who shall remain nameless for now, though we all know who we're talking about, decided to deviate from the script. He didn't want to talk tennis. He wanted to get personal. He looked into the camera and didn't just critique her game. He questioned her entire existence in the sport. He questioned if the media's praise of her was even real. He called her immature. He implied that her Grand Slam victories were a fluke, a product of hype rather than talent. He essentially looked at a Grand Slam champion and said, "You don't deserve this. You're a fraud." Now pause. Think about that. Coco Gauff burst onto the scene at 15 years old. She defeated Venus Williams at Wimbledon. She carried the weight of American tennis on her shoulders when Serena retired. She won the US Open in dramatic fashion. She just snagged the 2025 French Open title in a display of pure grit on the clay. And a grown man, on national television, sits there and tells millions of viewers that she's overrated and doesn't deserve the praise. It wasn't just what he said, it was how he said it. The arrogance. The dismissive sneer. It was a character assassination masquerading as sports commentary. And the worst part? The silence in the studio. His fellow hosts laughed awkwardly. They shifted in their seats. They knew he crossed a line, but nobody stopped him. Nobody said, "Hey, that's disrespectful." They let the segment air. They let it go out to millions of homes. They clipped it and put it on social media for clicks. But the internet? The internet is undefeated. Within minutes, Twitter, or X, whatever we're calling it, was on fire. Fans were recording their TV screens, posting the clip with captions like, "Did he really just say that?" and fire him immediately. It wasn't just Coco's fan base, the Coco Beans, who were angry. It was general sports fans. It was tennis journalists. Even people who don't watch tennis saw the clip and thought this is disgusting. Because we all know the subtext. We know what it looks like when the media targets a young, successful black woman who dares to be great. They don't just want to critique her, they want to humble her. They want to remind her of her place. And for a few days, nothing. Fox Sports didn't apologize. The host didn't retract his statement. Coco posted nothing. Silence. People started to worry. Was she okay? Did this get to her? We know Coco is tough. We've seen her handle tough losses. We've seen her handle that weird drama with Aryna Sabalenka's comments after the French Open, where Sabalenka tried to downplay Coco's win. Coco handled that with grace. She's used to people trying to dim her light. But this time, the silence wasn't weakness. It was strategy. Behind the scenes, Coco Gauff wasn't crying. She was building a war room. You have to understand Coco's business to understand this lawsuit. She isn't just a tennis player. She is a global brand. She is the face of New Balance. She has massive deals with Bose, Barilla, Rolex. Her reputation is her currency. When a major network host tells the world that she is a fraud or mentally weak, he isn't just hurting her feelings, he is attacking her livelihood. He is messing with the money. Sponsors pay for legitimacy. Fans pay for authenticity. If a major news outlet convinces the public that an athlete is fake, that has a direct financial impact. Coco's legal team, reportedly some of the best sharks in the business, calculated the damages. They looked at her brand value. They looked at her potential future earnings. And they arrived at a number that would make any network executive choke on their morning coffee, $50 million. The lawsuit alleges three main things. First, defamation. The host knowingly spread false narratives meant to harm her reputation. Second, emotional distress. This wasn't professional criticism, it was public humiliation. Third, tortious interference. By attacking her credibility, Fox risked her contracts and sponsor relationships. Legal experts are already weighing in, and the consensus is shocking. Coco has a winning case. One civil rights attorney noted you enter a very dangerous legal area when you stop criticizing the performance and start attacking the person's character, especially when that person's character is a billion-dollar asset. Fox Sports didn't just step over the line, they sprinted over it. The moment the lawsuit hit the desk at Fox Legal, the tone changed. You noticed it, right? Suddenly, the clip vanished from the Fox Sports website. It was scrubbed from their YouTube channel. The host, who is usually loud and active on Twitter, hasn't tweeted in days. Total radio silence. That is the silence of a man who just had a very, very scary meeting with a team of lawyers who told him shut up, or you will lose everything. Fox's PR team tried to issue a generic, Band-Aid statement. You know the type. We admire Coco Gauff as an athlete. Opinions expressed by our hosts are their own. We regret if anyone was offended. Translation, please don't sue us for $50 million. But it's too late. Coco isn't interested in a private settlement. She isn't interested in a quiet sorry behind closed doors. She wants this to be public. She wants the world to see that you cannot bully athletes, especially young female athletes, without consequences. And the ripple effect is already happening. Look at the support pouring in. Serena Williams posted a message of support. Naomi Osaka called the comments shameful. Even players who are usually rivals on the court are rallying behind Coco because they know if they can do this to Coco Gauff, they can do it to anyone. This is a turning point in sports media. For decades, networks have operated on the shock jock model. Say something crazy, make people angry, get the clicks, get the views. It didn't matter who got hurt. It didn't matter if it was true. Coco Gauff just killed that business model. By filing this lawsuit, she is sending a warning shot to every shock jock host, every podcast bro, and every sports network. The days of free hits are over. If you want to criticize her forehand technique, fine. If you want to analyze her second serve, go ahead. But if you come for her character, if you try to lie about her legacy, bring your checkbook. It's ironic, isn't it? The host called her immature. Yet, her response has been the most mature, boss-level move we have ever seen. She didn't scream. She didn't throw a tantrum. She simply filed the paperwork and went back to practice. And that is the scariest thing for Fox Sports. Coco isn't distracted. She's still winning. She's still on the court, grinding, preparing for the next slam. She has compartmentalized this completely. She has a team of lawyers to handle the trash, while she handles the tennis. Sources say Fox is desperate to settle. They know a public trial would be a PR nightmare. They know that during the discovery phase, Coco's lawyers would get access to internal emails. Imagine what they would find. Emails from producers telling the host to go harder on Coco. Emails proving they knew it was a lie but aired it anyway for ratings. Fox cannot afford for those emails to see the light of day. But word on the street is that Coco's camp is holding firm. They aren't looking for a quick payout. They are looking for justice. This reminds me of the Dominion lawsuit against Fox, where they had to pay nearly $800 million for spreading lies. Coco's team is using the same playbook. Truth matters. So what happens next? We are watching the docket closely. If this goes to trial, it will be the media trial of the century. We could see top executives called to the stand. We could see the host forced to admit, under oath, that he lied for clout. But even if it settles tomorrow, Coco has already won. She has reclaimed her power. She has shown every young girl watching that you don't have to accept disrespect. You can fight back. You can demand to be treated with dignity. The host called her overhyped. Well, now she's the most talked about athlete on the planet, and he's the one hiding in the shadows. Who's overhyped now? This is a developing story, and trust me, it is far from over. We're going to keep digging, keep watching, and keep bringing you the updates that the mainstream media is too scared to touch. What do you guys think? Is Coco Gauff right to sue for $50 million? Or is this just part of being a professional athlete? Did the host go too far? Or is the media getting too soft? I want to hear your thoughts. Let's get a debate going in the comments section below. And listen, if you support athletes standing up for themselves, hit that like button right now. It helps the channel huge. Make sure you are subscribed to Champions Tennisitics so you don't miss the next update on the Coco Gauff versus Fox Sports war. And don't forget, we have a second channel launching where we will be doing deep dives and live watch-alongs. The link is right there in the description. Go subscribe to that new channel right now. Until next time, keep your eye on the ball and don't let anyone disrespect your game. Peace.